I'm worried that the youth are going to get peer pressured, and the fact that there is no alternative, they will turn to alcohol and drugs. It doesn't seem like anyone's really trying to help.
Hello, I'm Councillor Kim Pugh for the Isle of Sheppey, and I'd like to tell you about how this project came about. I was talking to Mike Brown of Sheppey Matters, and we wanted to take this forward because a previous programme had stopped, and the perception on the island was that there was an excess of drinking and drug taking.
Back in 1994, when a group of local industrialists got together with the community sector, the youth service, because of their concern at the level of drug and alcohol use on the island, and formed a multi-agency project called Sheppey Community Against Drugs, which is a prevention project. It managed to deliver a lot of drug education in schools, youth clubs and other groups. When these funds dried up, that was the end of the project, sadly.
And it would appear from the draft part of the report that our perceptions, if you like, about drug and alcohol misuse is not necessarily as founded as we thought, and it's coming down to some hotspots. Can you tell us a bit about those hotspots?
Yes, I mean they are in places where young people can sort of, if you like, be out of sight and out of mind, specifically for alcohol rather than drugs, and that's one of our findings.
I'm really looking forward to this report. Young people, we need to hear their views to know how we can help them to improve their health and to help them make healthy choices in life. I'm really looking forward to hearing what the young people of Sheppey are telling us.
It's not too bad living on the island. I mean, like the area that I'm living at, it's I get on all right with my neighbours, but it's like when you get round to the bottom end, it's like you get all like the druggies and people and all that moving. It's like you've got certain areas which like they keep themselves to themselves, you keep yourself to yourself, but overall it's not really too bad at all.
Probably more activities for the younger people and people around like 18 and above, like more activities so that people can actually go out instead of getting done for like just hanging around on street corners and hanging around like loitering everywhere.
Places you can go, like more youth clubs, but a bit better than they are now. Because I think if you had more places to go, then you wouldn't have so many like teenagers getting out getting drunk, like because they'd have something to do.
Working closely with John Foster, I've assisted with the Drug and Alcohol Project's fieldwork and acted as a bridge between the community and the university. Boredom was one of the biggest reasons for drinking, as well as a form of stress relief. A number of suggestions were given to alleviate this, including more fast food restaurants, clothing shops, festivals and accessible exercise facilities.
There isn't much to do for kids, and when it comes to the time where people come on holiday, they all come here and there is nothing for them to do, and I think it's unfair. The more you get older, the more you want to turn to drinking and hanging out with your friends and hanging around the back of shops.
And then trying other things like drugs as well, because you're being pressured into it.
Like, you know, like they used to do like the little youth centres and stuff like that, but like a bit more challenging and a bit more for older people more than just like the younger people, because most things are focused on like the younger people instead of like the older people.
I don't know, some people like sort of now day and age are just like sort of rude. They don't like younger people and they show that they don't like younger people, so it's very sort of judgmental. You're sort of judged by your image, how you dress, how you look, whatever sort of thing. So for me that could improve quite a lot.
There's not much you can do in your free time. There's little youth clubs you sometimes often visit, but to be honest there isn't much.
I reckon we need something different that's going to make us all want to go there, something like a ice skating rink or something like that, or more places to eat so that we have a different variety of other places that we can go. Yeah, I reckon that it's the whole alcohol and drugs problems that are the problems, because there's nothing to do on the island that's making the teens of the island go out of control.
Some students have had contact with the police while drinking, where alcohol is confiscated and a warning is given. However, students felt that this was not a sufficient deterrent.
Maybe a bit more policing even though there's quite a lot in place, just to see them, like, take the can off them.
Have certain patrols in certain areas.
Or better facilities.
Yeah, that's one.
I think really, like, police just should go around doing like more searches, just like more patrols on the area, like to see where it's happening, because they go around certain areas and like they're finding it, but they're missing out the main key areas, and they're not actually like finding the main people who's really doing it and stopping to prevent it. So
it's, basically, they should just try and have a few more undercover cars, just having surprise checks from everyone. You know, going to random bars and clubs and everything to have a drugs test or whatever.
The most important finding was that there were a number of what we call hotspots of public drug and alcohol use on the island, rather than it being spread across the island. They are areas where young people tend to congregate, such as parks and beaches, shopping arcades, and away from CCTV cameras. The importance of identifying these hotspots is that resources can be targeted at specific areas where they are likely to have the greatest effect. The team is currently lucky that Councillor Ken Pugh, who you've already seen on this DVD, has a key public health role within Kent Council. We will work alongside him to enhance the health status of the Isle of Sheppey.
"18 months ago, the South East Coastal Communities project was started, and that's where this project is, where we are today. We took it on board, and what you're going to see today is how that project fared and the outcomes.
Our aims of this project was to establish the extent of alcohol drug problems that impact on the services such as hospital admissions and arrests and such. Gather information from people most affected by these problems and document their experience and impact on alcohol abuse and drug abuse. Train and set up the infrastructure that will focus on prevention, and that's the key word. There are quite a lot of agencies, multi-agencies, dealing with the results of alcohol and drug misuse, but what we haven't got is solutions to prevention.
What is really important to you to help you live enjoyable and, above all, healthy lives?
One of the really important things about the work that's being done, this research, is I'm hoping it's going to tell us actually what young people think works. And I need to know what works to help turn around some of these patterns of overuse of alcohol in particular. So what you have to tell us is going to be important, and then we can work out how to use our resources.
Thank you everybody for a very important set of conversations this morning. I think you would agree that this event this morning has helped us greatly in thinking about the legacy of this particular project. Thank you.
I'm delighted to have been invited to this event. Always you learn so much from just listening to the community's voice. It is a proper community, and I think with that, that's such an asset that we need to recognise, nurture, treat and promote.
The real issues for me, as I've seen the video, is how young people face up to the challenges of 2011. I saw them talking about how they spend their social time, how they look forward and prepare for work, and how they cope in living in quite an isolated community. We need to make sure that in all communities across Kent, young people really do have interests and activities that they're going to find satisfying and enjoyable.
The thing I'd like to understand more about with young people is they make choices every day about what to eat, what to do, what to learn. And I find it interesting, why is alcohol one of the choices in recreation? And that's the bit that I'm interested in learning more about from young people.
I think it'll be a problem if we let it become a problem. If we just sit back and let them do it. No, there should be rules and boundaries to stop kids from going that far, feeling that they need to give in to peer pressure.